really love here is Deuteronomy 29:29, which says, secret things belong to God, but things revealed belong to us and our children. Understand? Yeah, that it doesn't end with us. It goes on to the next generation. So that's Melnet. And as I mentioned, we operate through what are known as atoms. And we say that our meetings, therefore, are atomic. So what is atomic? Number one, atoms are tiny. They are the smallest units of matter. So if you're thinking of building a network, then the composites or the most basic unit of that network would be known as an atom. Atoms are powerful. They are a source of immense energy, and atoms are the building blocks of more complex systems. Yeah, and you can see there Melnites, members of the Genesis Guild atom. And we have what is known as the plant framework. So we say that the plant framework means prayer, learning, accountability, networking, and trading. And we truly believe this to be a design that God gave to us. Why we say that is because if, for example, you notice it's the nature or it's the design that our meetings take. Okay? We come, we pray, we learn, we are accountable one to another, we network, and we trade. But for example, we are realizing that we can be able to promote each other's businesses. Okay? And what we are doing is we have engaged, for example, in focusing on particular businesses. And the just ended week, we were focusing on SwiftServe. And I can see today they came in branded merchandise. So SwiftServe. And would you like to stand up and show us your what? Your brand, the brand SwiftServe. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. You may have your seats. Yeah, these are very, very, very good gentlemen, very committed to God and also to Melnet. We celebrate you guys. So so we are looking at SwiftServe in the ended week, and still the plant framework comes in where we pray. It's not by praying. It's not by praying for that business, that it may be all that God has ordained for it to be, to learn. So you learn about that business, okay? And then, so for accountability, what we did is to do what? Is to advertise on our platforms, all right? That's the nature that accountability did. Network, we open our networks to them, all right? And we want that, so we're looking at what we have in here as a seed and imagining what God is going to be able to produce in our midst as we grow and as these things become multiplied. Anyway, so at this point, I would like to welcome Joel Saitoti for today's learning points. So we are pleased to have Joel. People say this as a cliche. I have known Joel for many years. I truly have. He was one of the linesmen in our wedding, which means a witness. That was how many? 12 years ago, yeah? We thank God for the journey so far. And Joel is the CEO of Kingdom Circle. And therefore, when we say that there's something that God is doing, like creating the awareness that life, that Christianity or faith is beyond what we do in church, then you can be able to see that that is the reality. So, karibu sana, Joel. The floor is yours. Okay, all right.
So good morning, everyone. Just give me a second. I need to sort something here small. So as I sort something, let me allow my colleague. I came here with my colleague. Her name is Ruth. Just to say hi. Karibu sana Ruth. Just say hi as we begin. Karibu. hata hapo iko sawa.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruth Wanjiko. I'm Business Development Officer at Kingdom Circle, and I'm very happy to be here today. Wacha tusome pamoja and interact. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So I think so that is Ruth, and she's my colleague at Kingdom Circle. So happy to be here and happy to. This is my second time to be here in this forum. I believe some of us are familiar. We may have met here and there, and so we are not very strange to one another. So my name is Joel Saitoti. I'm the CEO at Kingdom Circle, and happy to be here. Thank you very much, Jeremiah, for the invitation to come here today and even be able to have this opportunity to be able to have an interaction together with such great people. These are kingdom entrepreneurs, people that believe that faith is not disconnected from the marketplace, and I think that is something that is great. So today I was just going to talk about something very small about savings, and it's stewardship and also building wealth. So we want to just look at that and just understand. I know these are concepts that may not be very new to most of us, but just to throw in a few dimensions to it and appreciate and learn a few things. I think we are calling it the learning point. So we want just to learn a few things and appreciate what the aspects of savings, stewardship, and the aspects of building wealth. And when we talk about building wealth today, we just want to look at building wealth together, because as we talk about networking, that's something that I also want to just highlight why that is going to be very important when we do it together. So I believe it's going to give us a bit of more insight and just to appreciate how we can do that. So talking about savings, maybe just to pose a question, because sometimes we work very hard, and the question is, why is it that many people, or most people we earn incomes, we work hard, we even pray for increase, isn't it? Yeah, but then sometimes we don't really get to, or rather, few people get to build wealth. Being able to build wealth. So you can have an income, you can work very hard, you can even pray for increase, but then in most cases, unakuta, we struggle to be able to do what? To have meaningful wealth that we have, that we can say, I have this kind of wealth with me, or intentionally. So, something that we can say lasting, lasting wealth. And so, and the reason, I think the answer, maybe some of you probably could have already thought of some answers. Let me hear, what are your thoughts? Why do you think that could be the case? We have a lot of incomes. Money is coming in. We are working hard, and therefore we are getting paid. We are getting the salaries, or we are getting our incomes from our businesses. But then the money, I don't know that if you look at, probably you guys have, and I know you do your accounting, isn't it? You do your accounting, and you at the end of the year, probably when you look at your cash flows and your inflows, a lot of cash passed through your hands, isn't it? Passed through your business. But then when you look at the bank account, sometimes you wonder, where is that money? Is that true? It happens, isn't it? So what could be the reason why? Just let me see whether we can try to figure it out. Yeah? Anyone wants to give a try? Yeah? Pressing needs in between. Yeah, true. Very true. It happens. Yeah, pressing needs in between. So basically, I think the answer to that is that the income alone is not wealth. Okay, income alone is not wealth, and wealth only begins where discipline begins. The moment you have discipline, that is where you can now be able to, you can begin to build wealth, because the wealth is basically what you have been able to reserve. And as long as money is coming and passing through your hands and it never gets retained, then you actually don't have wealth. So wealth begins where discipline begins, and that is where we talk about now savings, because unless you are able to save and put some money aside, then you will always have income. You will always have money coming in, inflows, cash flows and all that. You do the business, you get paid, but then at the end of the day, there will be needs will be there, isn't it? Expenses will be there. So your bank account at the end of the day is always, it's operating at certain minimum balances, isn't it? Yeah. And it's good to just refer to the Bible, because the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 20, it says that the wise store up choice food and oil, but the fools consume all they have. So that's the word of God in Proverbs 21, verse 20. The wise store up choice foods and oil, but the fools consume all they have. And so do we want to be classified in that side of the fools? Maybe not, isn't it? Yeah, because we want to be the wise, the people that are able to store up, out of our incomes, out of what we make. Are we able to put in something aside and store it and be able to build our wealth through those savings? And I think there's an illustration that I'm sure we all know about, which is the leaking bucket, isn't it? Yeah. So you could be fetching water all day, but as long as you have your bucket is leaking, what happens? you never get to retain, isn't it? You never get to retain. So and so by evening, let's say even it's a tank, whatever you're putting in the water, it's always leaking. So you're filling it up, but it's always letting out. So, and that is basically sometimes where we find ourselves. And most of us will find ourselves in such a place whereby we have those leaking buckets. Those leaking buckets, would be, those could be your businesses, they could be your personal finances, how the controls that you have put there to make sure that the monies are not coming in and going, but they are being retained, that you don't have a structure for it. All right? So, and that is how many incomes are like that. Many incomes are like that, those kind of buckets. So money enters, but there's no structure to do what? To preserve it. All right? There's no structure to preserve it. And also something else that I want just to mention is that savings is stewardship. We are all stewards, isn't it? And and everything that God has given us, anything that God has given you, He has given you as a trustee. That's a steward. If you're a steward, it means you're a trustee. You're not the owner, you're the trustee of that which you have been given. So even the resources, the businesses, the incomes that we make, we are trustees, we are stewards of those resources. And so how do we steward our incomes if we are not able to ensure that we preserve those incomes? We are not able to store up. And I think we are very familiar with certain biblical examples, because God puts wisdom in His Word through certain examples that we see. For example, the ants. We all know about the ants, isn't it? Yeah. So what do? They store food during harvest or during plenty, and they do it without supervision, isn't it? Yeah. So that is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6 to 8. So and God put that is just nature, that God was able to put certain wisdom inside of nature that allows us to see that there is a principle of savings, isn't it? That you can be able to store up. And if you look at the ants and you look at how they build their homes, they have galleries or granaries down there underground. If you get to appreciate and see how much they're able to store up, because there will come a time, probably there will be nothing to gather. So they gather during summer, they gather during plenty, and for a time that will come. And I think we also see that wisdom in Joseph in Egypt, isn't it? He was able to advise. That is Pharaoh. After he got the dream, and he was able to advise him that we are going to store up 20% of our harvest, because there will be a time that we will not be able to have the harvest, because there will be famine. And so, that was a structure that he was able to put in place, a system that he put in place, and that actually saved nations. It not only saved Egypt, it saved very, very, very many nations that were able to get help during the years of famine. So some of those principles that we learn from the Word of God tells us that unless we have structure, unless we put in place structure that allows us to be able to preserve, be able to store up, be able to save, then there will be a time that then we find ourselves in trouble. We find ourselves having not been able to, or not being able to meet even basic needs, just because of the fact that we did not think about tomorrow. And if the kind of person that utilizes everything, all the incomes that have, you're basically putting tomorrow into jeopardy, isn't it? If all you get today, you use today, so you're exposing your tomorrow, isn't it? So we do not want to be that kind of people that are not thinking about tomorrow. So we are living today, and we are thinking about tomorrow. Again, God can bless your harvest. God can bless your harvest is a business. God can bless the work of your hands, isn't it? And you actually get to make money. Your business you can get deals. You can grow you can get more business and tenders, and God can give you that. That is God just opening up those opportunities for you. But then it is wisdom that determines, the wisdom that you have inside of you, that determines whether that harvest that you have received can survive the next seasons, isn't it? There will be seasons when you may not be able to have that much business. There will be time when the incomes will probably have shrunk. So it is that wisdom to be able to preserve what you have, what God has blessed you to produce, that really matters. And therefore, I think the principle about that I really want to pass down right now is that saving must be non-negotiable. I think that's something that is important to just put it down, that savings must be non-negotiable. It's non-negotiable. If we are to apply the wisdom of God, then saving must be non-negotiable. So, and always you have to have a mindset of saving first. You have to have a mindset of saving first and then spending after, right? You have to have that kind of mindset where you save first and then spend later. Otherwise, there are people who always spend first, and then they think of what to save or what remains after spending, and in most cases nothing will remain, isn't it? In many most cases nothing. Karibu sana. Yeah, nothing will remain. So we have to apply that wisdom, that we have to first set aside before we can spend, and I think that is very, very critical. So just coming now to the other point of why many people never build wealth, and I want to look at some 3 barriers. Okay, I would just want to look at some 3 barriers, and one of them is that everything grows except savings. That's one of the reasons, one of the barriers is that everything grows. Your incomes can grow, isn't it? But what happens again as your incomes are growing, your expenses they're also growing, isn't it? And most people, we find ourselves in those situations whereby the moment my incomes have grown, my lifestyle also changes, and I start adapting new lifestyles. So, which means more expenses that will come along the way. So what is your incomes are growing, but at the same time, your expenses. So we never retain our lifestyle in the same state, so that we can do what? We can grow our savings, and that's one of the barriers that we have towards building wealth. So if your incomes always increase and also your expenses get to increase, then you'll never really get to build wealth. But if you're able to make sure that you retain a certain level of lifestyle, so that you ensure that even as your incomes are growing, you're able to retain and preserve more, that becomes a very, very important principle. So there's something that we call the income expansion trap. Yeah, the income expansion trap, because that basically what you're saying is that you can get an increase, you can make a business today, strike a deal, you get paid, but this is today's Monday. By Friday, probably you have some new obligations that were never there, and they just where they came from, and it could just be lifestyle obligations that you have put upon yourself, and you realize that you have already consumed what could have been for the future, isn't it? So, and that is the income expansion trap. So you always find ourselves in that trap where your incomes expand, then your expenses expand. The other barrier is about that wealth needs patience, and most people don't have patience, isn't it? A lot of people want to see that you're getting rich quickly, you're getting wealth faster. You're not very patient, really, true wealth it doesn't come fast. It comes slowly. It comes over time. It is built, and if something is built, it requires time, isn't it? It requires time, and I think if we were to look at an illustration of the farmer when they plant, do they keep going back and every time digging up and checking, is the seed growing? Why is it taking too long? Yeah? And all that. They don't keep doing that because they know that it takes time, isn't it? It takes time. So even when you put in your savings, you don't expect them to grow in a day, in a month, in a year. Okay? Think of long term. Think of long term. Think of future. Think of years of building those savings, accumulating those savings. And one of the facts that I can actually tell you is that money that grows slowly usually stays longer. I don't know that you guys know that is a fact. Money that grows slowly usually stays longer. But if the money comes quickly, you'll always find that also it goes out quickly, isn't it? Yeah, it is, and it's biblical. In Proverbs chapter 13, verse 11, the Bible says that dishonest money does what? It dwindles away. So that is this. Or the other versions will say money that comes quickly, or money that you get through, get quick schemes and all those kind of things. That kind of money dwindles away. It just disappears. It vanishes. The same way it comes is the same way it goes. So, and therefore, the principle there is that money that grows slowly always lasts longer. And actually, that verse says, it continues to say that whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Makes it grow. So that is the principle of building wealth. You have to be patient. You have to do it over a long time. You have to build it. I believe that in our businesses and as kingdom entrepreneurs, we definitely we have values, isn't it? We don't cut corners. We don't try to look for ways of making quick money that is not genuine, that is not honest, isn't it? And sometimes because of our values, you may find and think, you may look like as though my growth is a bit slow. My business growth is not. Somebody else probably started their business, and theirs just mushroomed very fast. Probably they use dishonest means, isn't it? But let's not be that kind of people. Let's be patient. Let's build our businesses over time, and I believe that when we do it correctly, when we do it right, then that which we build shall last long. Okay, it shall last for long. And then lastly is that isolation delays growth. I don't know whether because most of the time we want to just do it alone, isn't it? I want to build my own business alone. I want to make wealth alone. So that is one of the big problems also that slows our ability to build wealth, because we want to do it alone. And I think I'm happy with what we are doing here at Melnet, because it's all about coming together. It's all about networking and bringing those synergies together, and that's something we can be able to be able to extend even into how do we build our wealth together. How do we network in building our wealth together, and that's very, very important. So wealth grows better together. That is another fact. Wealth grows better together when we do it together, when we collaborate, when we join hands with different people. And a network is not just people who that you know. You could have a network, you could have people that you know, but then how are we utilizing that network? Okay, how are you utilizing that network? It must be people that help you to multiply what you carry, right? The people that you are around you, are they helping you to multiply, to think of being able to think of growth? And is there a way you can actually come in and pull together? Is there a way in which sometimes you can actually, put in your savings and then be able to come and pull together and do something? Because one person you can save alone, one person can save alone, but you will struggle to do what? To do something big or something major, a major investment, a major project and all that, because you're doing it alone. But when you come together as a community, you're able to create more capital that allows you to build generational wealth. And so that is something that I think I just want us to look at it. And I think Jeremiah was giving me an example of how when they were thinking of buying, at that time they were just starting out life and they were thinking about buying a plot. He could not afford it by himself, but then when they came together and maybe formed something, maybe a chama or something, and they will be able to do contributions, and of course they took the loan with Kingdom Circle, and they were able to buy the plot, and I believe now they are owners of a very good plot somewhere, which later they could dispose, and they can now be able to do even bigger things. I think this really resonates a lot with what Melnet does, and I'm happy about that. Your tagline, which is Christ, Community, Commerce, I think that I really love that, because Christ gives us the values that we operate in, isn't it? That is, Christ gives us the values, and the community gives us what? Strength, isn't it? The community that we build, it's the one that gives us strength. It's the one that we can be able to leverage on that community to be able to build stronger together. And then commerce gives us expression, the expression of in the marketplace, expressing the nature of God, expressing our stewardship, isn't it? It gives us expression. So I think I also looked up there's what you're calling the growth model for Melnet, which there is a seed, there is a blade, the ear, there is a full corn, and that is looking at the levels of growth and how you can grow as a business from that level, from the seed level to the blade level to the ear level and to the full corn. And we can apply that also to savings and building wealth, okay? Because the seed is basically that discipline that starts small. That is a seed, that discipline. We always talk about the mustard seed. So that discipline that start small. That is a seed. That's where you begin. And then the blade is now the systems and the consistency. Because when you talk about savings, you have to have systems and consistency. So that is the next level. And then you come to the ear, where that will be now multiplication. That's where the growth starts happening. That is where multiplication through partnership, through networking. Okay, so that is the ear, and then the full corn is now where wealth. You begin to make real wealth that blesses people, that blesses communities, that blesses many people. And I think we normally at Kingdom Circle, we normally refer to that mustard seed principle, where you start small, it grows over time, and it eventually becomes what? The biggest tree, isn't it? Yeah, the biggest tree in the entire forest. And that is your business, that is your life. That is, as long as you have discipline, as long as you have consistency, as long as you have systems in place, then if that can be your life. That is a progression that you are able to have as you grow. So I just want to make a closing reflection, and I just want to say that you must, if you want to save meaningfully and grow meaningful wealth, then you must do that with vision and purpose. You must do that with vision. And otherwise, if there is no purpose, if there is no vision, what am I trying to achieve? What am I growing towards? And the purpose is always there's something God has ordained for you to achieve in this life. And so make sure that you build, or you build your wealth so that you're able to accomplish that which God has put in your heart. That vision, that dream, that mission that God has put in your heart. And when you do that, then you will be able, what happens is that now you're giving your money a mission, because that money you're making is no longer just for yourself, isn't it? It has a mission, it has a purpose. There's a reason why I am growing this money. There's a reason why I am growing this wealth. There's a reason why I'm saving for that future, or there's a reason why I am building growing my savings, because there's a purpose and a mission that now this money has found, because that is what it is coming to fulfill. And so at Kingdom Circle, what we do is basically to help you give that money that mission, because we come in to now help you to put in a structure. We come in to help you to have a structure of consistency in your savings, and we exist to be able to help people to align their savings, their investments, their wealth with their divine purpose. Okay, so we want you to be able to make sure that you align that, because you have a system of saving, you have a system of growing it, you have a system of multiplying it, and you have a system that helps you to achieve that goal and that objective that you have for your life. So maybe allow me just to spend now maybe some 2 minutes to talk about sales, just mention a few things about Kingdom Circle and why we exist. The Kingdom Circle is built by believers for believers, right? It's built by believers for believers, meaning that this is ours. It is your circle. It is my circle. It is for the believers. We are a faith-driven institution. We have existed for the last 27 years. 27 years of excellence. Building the systems of excellence for over 27 years. We have empowered over 25,000 people across Kenya, across the diaspora. And therefore we exist, we have existed to empower businesses, individuals, professionals, all these years. And I think we have a lot of testimonies of people who have been, who have really grown through Kingdom Circle. A lot of people have been able to own homes, been able to own assets through Kingdom Circle. A lot of people have been able to educate their children, all the way from primary to university. All this has happened through Kingdom Circle. We've seen businesses grow from very small businesses to big enterprises, just coming through the support and the empowerment that we have offered at Kingdom Circle. Well, our value proposition is that when you put in your savings, those savings you're able to multiply that, and it has a multiplication effect, because you can borrow 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, even in other cases, depending on the products, up to 10 times of your savings, to do certain projects and to be able to achieve certain dreams. So that is what we do at Kingdom Circle. We also ensure that we give very affordable rates, as low as 12%. We also have something that we call a credit score. That credit score depends on how active you are, depends on how consistent your savings are, depends on how you pay your loans, consistently. We give you a credit score, and that score determines the interest rate that we give you. We always want to reward the good people, the people that are consistent, the people that, and that's how we do it. We do the credit scoring. You can always secure your loans with either deposits or your savings, or you can actually also have guarantors, and that's where the networking bit comes in. You could come together as business people, like they say, the way you have your atoms, and you're able to form those groups and guarantee one another. And sometimes you realize that strength of coming together, there is something you could not have achieved by yourself. But of course, if you have the ability, then you can also use your collateral, you can use your logbook and your title deed, and you're able to do that. And the other bit that I just want to mention is that, which is the best part for us for Kingdom Circle, is that we are very digital. Basically, you can do everything that you may want to do in Kingdom Circle through the mobile app that we have at Kingdom Circle. From registration, you can register to be a member. You can, on the mobile app, you can do all your transactions there. You can pay your bills. You can, transfer money to the banks, to M-Pesa, to pay bill. You can pay the tills. You can buy airtime. All those transactions, you do them from the mobile app. You can apply your loans right there on the mobile app. So literally, you can do everything. Your standing orders, you're able to apply put in your standing orders. You can request for your ATM cards. You can check your statements. All those things, you can do it at the comfort of your home, the comfort of your business, at the comfort of your office. And so, rarely would you need to be able to come and visit the office. We are always a call away. You just call us if there's an issue, there's a challenge, and we are able to come through to help you. Something else that we have a pay bill shortcode. I think, Ruth, you could just display that, where in your business, you can actually be able to put in that kind of a pay bill shortcode. We give you a very customized short account number. It could be digits, it could be words, something that is customized and that works for you, for your business. And all your transactions are able to come through the account. And that builds your credit score as well, because as long as your payments are coming through there and your transactions are going through there, also your credit score builds up. And that is something that we are happy to also come in and support our businesses to do. You get instant notifications when payments happen. You can also have even daily pay bill statements, transactions, just for your reconciliation. So we try to make your reconciliations very, very easy to do that. So if you want to join, if you're not a member of the circle, let me see how many of us here could be members of the Kingdom Circle, just to appreciate if we have any members here. Oh, wow, wonderful. So those of us who are not members and you feel that you wish to do that, you can just download the app, the Kingdom Circle mobile app, and you can begin the journey of experiencing growth through Kingdom Circle. Otherwise, thank you very much. Happy to have shared a few knowledge and snippets of wisdom. Asante sana, Jeremiah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Saitoti. Yeah, indeed, that was 10 years ago, I think. No, more than 10 years ago, 2015. thereabout is when I was much younger than I am now. Yeah, and essentially what we did was that we took a loan with Kingdom Circle. We were credit worthy, all right? So that thing is calling credit score is a two-edged sword. Yeah. So that is dependent on your character. Yeah. So they call them the 5 C's of credit, one of which is character. And so anyway, so we took the facility and we were able to get a plot in Kitengela, and we were contributing. So I think the loan repayment was about 7,000 shillings. So which means that if we are a number of us, then you may find each person's contribution could be between 1,000 and 2,000. And I'm actually wondering why we stopped doing that. You could probably be owning more land than we do, or pieces. I think it's more accurate to say pieces of land. It's just a piece, yeah. Otherwise, thank you very much, Saitoti. We appreciate it. It's a great presentation and very practical. And I was just thinking about Abraham when you were talking about that the finances, giving your money a purpose or a mission. God told Abraham, in blessing, that's Genesis 22. In blessing I will bless you. Yaani kama kuna kitu usidoubt. Kama niko kubariki. That's Genesis 22. He's saying, in blessing I will bless you. All right? And but then he goes to say that, and in you will all the nations of the earth be blessed. Understand? In other words, you realize that when God is blessing you, it is not really for you. What he's looking for is a vessel that he can be able to use. All right? That he's looking for. He called them trustees. All right? Stewards. I'll be talking about, he notices, one of our programs is what we are calling Business by the Book. And actually that has featured a lot. The fact, stewardship, realizing that especially for us as kingdom entrepreneurs, that my business is not my own. And we thank God for Yvette. Karibu sana. Yeah, Yvette is a director with Synapis. If you know Synapis, it is Latin for mustard seed. So again, that which Saitoti is sharing. Yeah, we are delighted to have you. And in Synapis, one of the things you learn is what is called what business as a mission. All right, and actually that whole aspect that my business belongs to God. All right. Yeah, and I believe that God is actually going to produce in this place and elsewhere businesses that truly belong to Him. When you think of the people that appeared before God and they were told, get away from me, you workers of iniquity, I never knew you. What it says is that they say we prophesied in your name, we did miracles in your name, and what we've been saying is, I don't want to appear before God and say, I built a business in your name, and He says, I never knew you. You understand? So that we are not just doing things on the outside, but truly we are given to God. When Paul is talking to the church in Corinth and telling them about, again, he's talking about stewardship, by the way, and telling them about the churches in Macedonia, he says they gave themselves first to God, all right? And then it says, and by the will of God to us, and then they give. You understand? So like giving is coming at the tail end, having given yourself first of all to God, to the leaders and community that God has given you to, and finally you give of your substance. So LinkedIn is the only platform I'm quite active on. So as I mentioned, courtesy of age. So I recently started an additional newsletter. This one is called The Poet Who Counts. The Poet Who Counts. So that's myself. Yeah, because when I'm not counting, that is Doing numbers, I'm writing poetry.
Nice.
And a lot of that inspiration is courtesy of Joseph. Yeah, back in the day. So um, would like to welcome Joseph. Joseph is actually an associate pastor at the Voice Community, but also very, very proficient in the marketplace. Is a team building professional, and I mean, he's actually more active on LinkedIn than I am in posting his team building activities. And I remember when we were in Strathmore, and it's our last year, and he's taking us through team building activities and saying, you know, some of you are not taking me seriously. Next year you'll be paying for this. And by the way, let me tell you something else about Joseph. Oh, I remember when we were, again, still in Strath, and he's saying, I don't know whether you remember this, Joseph. This is interesting. He was saying that I look at banks and the way we must go to. I know now that I'm saying it after the fact. It doesn't seem big. In any case, there's a whole generation that can't relate to what I'm saying. But I'm saying, okay, let me just put it the way he put it. I hate banks. I have to go and queue, you know, and get everything done. And you're saying, I know there will be a day, all right, when we won't have to go physically to the bank. It sounded like a pipe dream, you know. Yeah, but lo and behold, we have a bank here that literally I can open an account while seated here. So I think I should now allow Joseph to come so that I don't end up taking more time introducing him than he will take. Facilitating. Karibu sana.
Oh, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Karibu. Asante sana. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey guys, are you alive? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Mmekula now. At least I have my session when you've had something, and that's very, very nice. Thank you, Jeremy, for this forum. We used to call him Jere, so I have to add the me. So Jeremy. So growth. Yeah, that is growth. Because even now people still call me Jose. So I added them an F, so you call me Joseph. So that you don't have to feel like it's a lot. So I'm delighted to be here. I have desired to be in this forum for almost since we began. But there's something I do Monday mornings that I really had to negotiate about that. And even today, I truly had to negotiate for that. But I'm so happy to be here and to see the wonderful work that is happening. And one of the things I do enjoy is that power of the seed. That so long as you start something and you put it in the right environment, then within no time, that will become a great harvest. And when I look at Melnet, I see that. I see the beginning, and I also know there's a great harvest. There's a great future that is there. Now, I only have 15 minutes because my enemy. Let me not go into politics. And I know we are busy people, start of the week, and we still have to honor the time we have. And therefore, I have to consolidate my thoughts into 15 minutes, and I believe we will get something out of it. And the thought I'm having is truly the reality of who we are, the reality of this seed, Melnet, Melchizedek Network, all these things that God brings to humans. And it's always good when we can go back to the Word of God and see that He is able to really speak to us in a very prophetic way. And for those who believe in the prophetic like I do, we pick things. An entrepreneur ideally is a prophet, because you have to pick an idea that is in the mind of God, and then you have to be apostolic to build it. So the prophetic is knowing the will of God and obeying it, and the apostolic is being able to lay a foundation and build a structure. And then it becomes a point of bringing other people, because you have to evangelize, and you're bringing people into this business, And as they are there, you have to teach them quite a lot of how they should do business. And after you teach them, you have to take care of them. Meaning, an entrepreneur is a fivefold minister. So it's important for you to know that what you're doing, when God says, I gave some to be apostles, some to be prophets, what he's doing, he's looking at that in all these things. And I love what we are talking about, the structures, the emerging structures in terms of this, the priests and the kings. And when you think about the world that we live in, the world we live in thrives in kings. So the more you are a ruthless king, yeah, people will look at you and like, you are the one, you are the entrepreneur, you are a no-nonsense. You don't take, all those things we use, the words we use, I may not use them here, yeah? But it's like, that is how we look at you from our perspective and respect that guy. And there's always a tendency for an entrepreneur who is building a kingdom business to wonder their real identity. Because you want to be this tough guy so that you fit in. You fit in the picture. But then it's like you're also supposed to be a priest. And one of the challenges with being a priest is the world again would want a priest to be very passive. When you think about pastor jokes, yeah, see there are pastor jokes online all the time. So I'm actually an ordained pastor. And now I'm a resident pastor. I moved from being an associate. Since no, it's okay. So I'm a pastor. But you find, actually, there's places, if I say I'm a pastor, the value they had about me goes down. So they'll be like, now I'm a pastor. So sometimes I have to wear that one of I'm the founder, I'm the business accelerator, whatever, because of the world. And what we are saying is the reality of the world is here with us, that even when God speaks to us, we have to ask ourselves, how do I actualize my identity as a king and as a priest? Because if you just allow the world to define that, you might find yourself so passive that there's no kingship about you. And again, you can be such a king, there is no priesthood in you. And actually what I do, I run a business, I run an outfit, I call it an outfit, called Business Architects. And business architects, we help businesses be able to refine their blueprint. What is it that you want to do? Just like an architect, you'll come and ask, what are you building? So it should be very clear, what are you building? You can't just say you're going to do business. What are you building? And inside that, there's the reality of your call. So when I was growing up, there's always this question where people would ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? So say, what did you want to be when you grow up? Let's hear. What did you used to say? Pilot. Pilot, okay. Dan? Lawyer, okay. Lamek? What did you want? Among them? Pilots. Tends to change. Okay. I don't know many people. Okay, we had from Switzerland. Okay. And pilot. Most people wanted to be pilots, yeah? Men, okay. For you wanted to be? Doctor. For you wanted to be? An ambassador. Okay. Joseph, my namesake. You wanted to be? Pilot. Interesting. No. Cynthia? Oh, you're here. Doctor. You're there. You got it. So for me, growing up, honestly, and this is not a joke, so don't think it's a joke, I wanted to be a bus driver. Yeah, that's it. And I would tell people, I want to be a bus driver. And guys would be like, you can't be a bus driver, you're so bright, like, we're looking up to you, you are disappointing us. So by 8 years, I think 9 years, I had understood that being a bus driver was not something I should aspire to be. And therefore I stopped saying I want to be a bus driver. But this was the inspiration. When I looked at my dad was a personal driver for an MD, in an NGO. So all I would see was my dad driving only one person all the time. Either he's driving himself or one more person. But because we were in Kibera, I would see the bus driver, the KBS driver, would drive a bus with 120 passengers. Some are 60 are seated and 60 are standing. Some people may not understand a bus that drives 120. You may not understand. That's how. And as a young boy, I'm thinking, yes, I want to be better than my father. Therefore, being a bus driver is such an upgrade, But sometimes when you dig deep into what you thought you'd be as a child, inside that reality is truly who you are. You are a pilot. You are actually having to move a whole organization forward. For the doctors, you'll find you have a reality of taking care of people. For the ambassador, you're the one here who's saying you're representing an organization. Yeah. So in true sense, you really never were far away from what God wanted you to be. But maybe as a child, you didn't have the words. Maybe as a child, you didn't have the reality of that. But deep down, you knew who you are. And therefore, the beginning point of the journey is always identity and purpose. That as an entrepreneur, there must be the reality of who am I and what should I do with who I am. So I'm a proud bus driver. I'm really a proud bus driver. And I always say, God helping me, I must get a bus, a real one, and drive, because I've never done it. I'm still in the symbolism of it, but I think I should, to just have that experience, There are many dreams we have. One of the dreams I used to have, especially as I looked at how to build teams, is to have people experience other people's lives. A CEO, being a T-boy one day in your kingdom circle, just to experience what that work experiences, And one of the idea I had was that, sometimes experience other people a day. But I've never been able to work on that idea. But it's a very idea that I've carried, Because I feel like when we have the human experiences, they truly allow us to narrow down or to distill our identity. And therefore, today, that's actually the thought I have. That as you're journeying, as you're looking at all these big things and these dreams, that you must go back and journey with God where who you truly are gets distilled. Even before I became a pastor, many times people would always say, "And are you a pastor?" And I'm like, why would you say that? Because there's an aspect of my identity that would take care of people. My family members and my uncles would call me an elder as a small boy. They would say, "Our elder amefika," because if I get to a space and there is no order, it doesn't matter whether you're my dad or my grandfather, I will have a problem. So I would speak to people. I would say, "No, you can't do that. Why are you guys drinking and the children are coming?" when I see my birthday photos, I am told my birthday, 1 year old, I was drunk. Because my grandfather loves giving, that. And as a way of honoring, the father has to allow me to have a sip and something. You get? But I didn't even know some of those things. But I would rise up and say, "No, this is what is destroying this family. We shouldn't allow us to do a family gathering, then the men whatever, and I'm just a boy." So its identity was there. But now what happens in the world? The world wants to distort your identity. The world wants to make you feel like, I cannot be this and be this. I cannot do this and do that. And therefore, one of the things we need to do is to take that journey where we are able to actually be who we are supposed to be without putting ourselves in a box. Yeah. And one of the things my parents did very well, my grandfather didn't have a first name. But it was tradition that you should be named both names. If you're, the name of your parent, you pick both names. That's how traditional our family would be. And therefore, because my grandfather didn't have a first name, my parents had to decide the name to give me. And that is one of the most prophetic things they did. We don't have a Joseph in the family. I'm the only Joseph. And when my parents chose that name, they said, because he will be the deliverer of our family and the nations. And why do I like that? Just like Joseph in the Bible, who had a coat of many colors. I really got that identity that, you know what, you will think I'm confused because my coat has many colors. But the coat of many colors is a concept that God is able to give you gracing that enables you to function with a lot of versatility. And therefore, for a long time, when I stopped knowing what to say, that I cannot say I'm a bus driver, I struggled knowing who to be. I couldn't tell because I would find, like, we are doing finance in school. We are accountants. Imagine me as an accountant, you know. No offense to my accountants. But you know, I'm thinking, guys, what are we doing on Saturday? I think we did hikes, we did things, you know. I'm such an adventurous person. Like, we will do now the team building. I didn't even know it's a profession. I just knew you can bring guys together and just do something. And eventually that became a profession. The speaking, it was just things that I do naturally. So there are people even say, you're a motivational speaker. I'm like, no, don't call me a motivational speaker. But when I speak to people, they get motivated. You know, I didn't want to be a pastor. You should ask them. But when I go to even an environment, when I go to a business, it heals. One of the things I have, and just that's what I'm saying about grace, that entrepreneurs sometimes at the edge of giving up. You're losing your family. You're losing your mind. The business has really pressed you. You don't know what to do because of the demands. And then you enter to that organization as a consultant. And when they are saying, what happened when this guy came? They start saying, you know, I got healed. I'm like, I wasn't, you know, like, those are not the words you expect someone to say. And therefore, I embrace that identity. And I say, you know what? If that's who I am, that's who I am. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because the concept of kings and priests is really misunderstood. But beyond that, the issue of the fivefold ministers is left in the church. But the fivefold minister is what we need. So, and I'm happy that the other day I got a prophetic word, and this prophet actually used words I loved. You know, the way, you know, sometimes because of religious words and all that, sometimes you have to interpret. But this particular one said, you're a minister in the marketplace, you know, as a prophetic word. You're not just a pastor. And sometimes that is important even for people who maybe I pastor, so that they don't wonder, why does our pastor always go to work? Are we not doing enough? Are we not, you know? But it's not about that. It's about the identity and what you carry. And therefore today what I would encourage you is, especially using the fivefold, to start thinking in the fivefold, how has God designed me? How do I receive grace that enables me to establish structures and systems? Why is that important? Because again, let me go to one area, the area of like policies. Sometimes we have very beautiful philosophies, but the beautiful philosophy never become a reality. When I come to your organization, I want to hear, what is the watchman saying? What is the tea girl saying? What is the driver saying? If you're running a school, what are your teachers saying? Because we may have these beautiful things outward here, but the people there are not taken care of. The people there are lost. The people there, the system is a Pharaoh system. You are just asking them to produce more bricks. That's what you're telling them to do. But the system is destroying them. And in the book of Revelation, we see 18, we see the judgment of Babylon, the world system. And one of their judgment was, you traded with the souls of men. You traded with the souls of men. Why? Because God is interested in the souls of men. He's asking in the book of Mark, what would it profit a man to gain the whole world? Don't we want to be kings of the whole world? To gain, to be the who is who, to be on the magazines and everywhere, everybody knows this is the king. But the question is, what would benefit if you gained all that but lost the soul? And here it's not about just eternal life. It's about the people who work for you. Have they lost their soul? I have sat with people when I'm consulting, and I tell someone, no, you're supposed to be a teacher. You are a teacher. So either in this system, we have to find your space of teaching. So when we say business restructuring, sometimes the way we do it, people are like, How did you put this one here and this one here and this one here? Because that's part of it. And there are people who even have to go back to school and now be able, because you see, we have to speak the language of the world, yeah? But sometimes we find those misplacements because I'm like, there's no way you will ever become who you're supposed to be unless you stand in your true identity. So as an entrepreneur, you could be servicing cars, but it's good to ask yourself, what is the deeper purpose? What is it that God would want me to do? And yes, you will do the service and all that, but there could be something deeper. And that is especially the priestly side. The priestly side is something you have to discern. If you're a healer, you go to systems and heal them. You go, it's like you have to journey with God, and He tells you, you are a fivefold minister, and this is how I want you to go out there. And as you do that, you'll find the kingly and the priestly will balance. Because there is a way you are not just doing what others are doing. If I come to your organization, what kind of policies? How do people rest? You go to organization, people don't even rest. People are told, by the way, uko na mtoto mdogo. By the way, hata najua serikali ni 3 months. Lakini mimi nitakupea 2 months. Ukichukua ya 3 months, okay, nowadays at least HR laws have become a bit more supportive to the employees, yeah? But we had a system earlier. You'd find, you go to a system and you wonder, this is a believer owning this company, but actually they are worse than an unbelieving business. So it means what really matters. Yes, the philosophies are good, but it is what happens down here. If you meet one of the people who work for me, what will they say about their boss? Who have they become having worked with me? I even give them targets. So many times I don't stay with people for long. I raise them and I release them. Some of them are doing well, much better than me. But they will always say, you know what? When I was 19 years, I worked for you for 4 years. And now look where I am. So there are all those things, and that's now where the real issue is. You go back and you check, how then do I make sure this philosophy, the philosophy of our faith, the faith that we talk about, how then do we make it practical? What kind of policies, frameworks, and all that we live? Because many times that is where the disconnect is. But this is encouraging. I wish we had more time, but I have to honor the time that we have. And that's the journey we journey. It's a long-term journey. I always say when you meet entrepreneurs, you're journeying with them. I used to be a hit and run kind of a consultant. So nowadays I say, just God send me to the ones that I'm able to journey with. Because there's always the rush of like, how many clients do you have? How many what? But sometimes knowing your purpose will even define your commercial engine. How do we move our business? Because it's good to grow until the person you are to serve starts to tell you, I'm not getting value in what you're doing. So there's a way to do all that. Just like savings, the discipline of raising businesses that can be able to serve. When it comes to operations, how do you deal with your operations? How do you deal with the human resource? And how do you deal with your finance? Those are the 4 pillars mainly that we deal with in our business in terms of consulting. So this has been good. I hope you've gotten something that can allow you to think, to chew, and probably even as we keep journeying to see how then do we make sure that the philosophy of our faith is it's something practical that we live by. In the spirit of poetry, I would want to leave you with a poem. Yeah, there are 2 poems coming to mind. One by I wrote that one, and one done by someone else. And this one was done by Caroline Derito. She is one of our Kenyan poets, a real inspiration. And she wrote a poem and said, play your drum. Play your drum, for no one else can play it for you. No one else should. For only you have the hands for it. Only you know the tune. Play your drum. Don't worry how well others play their drum. Often, we are so busy listening to others play their drum that we have no time to play our own. Will the farmer use the surgeon's scalpel? Will the nurse inject using the teacher's chalk? Will the baker bake in the tailor's machine? Play no other drum but yours, and play it well. And in time, we shall all be dancing to your music. Thank you.
we should have had more time. Yeah, but really, really grateful. Is that powerful?
Yes. It's very powerful.
I'm just thinking that this morning there is no place I would rather have been. Yeah, truly, truly thank God for these resources, these graces in His body. We celebrate them. So, there's a clock there that is behind time. So we're slightly above our time. But allow me to invite Mercy. It's an ambush. Sorry. We are having a Bible study as Melnet. We just call it Business by the Book. And it's interesting. We were actually discussing Exodus, Pharaoh, and the making of bricks and more bricks, and saying that, number one, we trust God that we are delivered from that system ourselves, all right? Okay? We were looking at, I think it's Exodus, I think it's 6, where it says that, and this word came to them through Moses, but they could not receive it because of the anguish of spirit, okay? Yeah, some of those versions use bigger words like despots. But essentially what you're saying is that the system has beaten you so much. You see, what Joseph is saying, you want to get... I actually thought about that when you're talking about trading in the souls of men, is where I have you lack the ability to even understand what am I about. Like what is my life about? What would God want? Because it's just 8 to 8, and if you're lucky, 8 to 5, all right? And we were discussing that online, and Mercy said what she does with her businesses. I said the businesses, all right? Yeah, her businesses. So, and because we are looking for practical solutions, okay? We're looking for practical solutions, productivity over activity. So allow me to invite Mercy for 1 minute to just tell us what she does that is different. Welcome, Mercy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Mercy. If you like, in my socials, I'm Mercy Breakford. Breakford Enterprises being my umbrella company. Allow me first of all to touch something Joseph has said. I'm nervous. I'm not used to this. Something that Joseph has said, a coat of many colors. When you are that person who has so much within you, sometimes you get judged a lot. Like, who do you think you are? You're all over the place. So that session was for me. That session was 100% from. I think that's why I even came late to just grasp whatever was mine. So I thank God for you. Keep doing whatever you're doing. It's really impacting lives. So we were discussing about the Pharaoh system, the Babylonian system. And one of the things that made me retire early, I tell people I have retired. I'm a medic by profession. You're an accountant by profession. I'm a medic by profession. So I've worked in this system where, especially the private sector, where it is so hectic that sometimes you even forget who you are. So I found myself the purpose part of it. You're like, yes, you're doing this, but it is not it. You feel within you there is more, you try explaining to someone, beating your own drum again. They're not getting you. So I remember in 2024, I was sitting, I love having lonely moments. I call them solitude moments with God. And I was reading this book that says, "Arise and shine, for your light has come." Do you know the word that made me resign? I know I sound crazy, but to people who understand whatever I'm saying, they will get it. Arise. It was August 2024, 3 a.m. I remember I was not asleep. Arise. I was doing Bible study. And during the day, for some reason, prophet, hey, I should see you. For some reason, I was pushed to find a chair, an office chair, and a desk out of nowhere. I went online. I'm a very active, and like my brother here, I'm very active on social media. So I went on Facebook and ordered a desk and a chair. So that night, Arise. And I'm like, wow. I couldn't wait for morning to come. For me to go, now I was on leave, the annual leave, to go and tell my boss, something has come up, I need to. So that is how I left my former employer and now came to start officially my businesses. Now, one thing that was so key, I would tell myself, I will never enslave someone. That one, let me say this, I vowed to God. I will never put someone in a cocoon. And this is something that with time, I'm a mother of 2 girls. With time, I realized it is within me. Because since my kids were 2 months, the job, then when we were 3 months, I've never had a live-in house girl. The practicality of things. Because when you have, this is my view, my point of view. When you have a live-in house girl, it's like that's all she knows. She wake up, she prepares, no the routine. So I adopted the model of you come, do whatever you're supposed to do, and then go, have a life. And for the 8 years, I've had 3 mamas who come, and for some reason, I've even raised their kids along the way. Purpose, again. So, coming to my business, the main reason, the main reason I do business is not to make money. For me, it's not to make money. My main business is to be my brother's keeper in this aspect. And that's how I'm able to run so many businesses. I'll come to you. What skill do you have?
Numbers.
Okay, I've not worked with people to numbers. Let me use the practicality one that I have.
Yeah.
I had this guy, and I shared the other time. He was fired from his place of work. He used to work in a laundry. And he's so good. You know those people who are so good and they have mastered the art of how a laundry functions. They even have the clientele, because most of the time, you are the business owner, you're not the one who runs the company. Your employees, they run the company. So this person was a package. And I told him, you have so much, what do you need? So he comes with whatever skill he has. I don't know how to run even those things. I'll come with my entrepreneurial part. We sit down, we develop a model, and we start off. The latest business that I've started, in fact, I started last week, the one that I'm selling kitungu.
Yeah.
I have this mama. She's a farmer. So you know, they do seasons. She had farmed kitungu previously, but now it is done. And now she's seated, waiting for another season to plant kitungu. And I tell her, no, you have a market, You have the know-how. Let's go to other farmers. Let's go take their kitunguu and sell. So this is me working with another person, helping their dream and their purpose as I develop mine. You get? The other business I do, I said I'm a medic by profession. So now the aspect of medic that I'm in is selling medical equipment. But now in this case, home care based, where we take the hospital services to the patient. For example, if they are bedridden, or maybe they have enough cash, they don't want the hassle of being in the hospital. So in this case, I do something called drop shipping. I cut the cost of warehousing, so I don't need employees to run my warehouse. What I've done, I've developed the system of, you remember when you say, what do you want to do when you grow up? When I was working, I used to tell myself, I want to do this, I want to do this. And one of the things I wanted to do is to have a delivery services, something. And right now, I have come to realize that. So that is the model I use. You need something, I know where to get it. So, and the advantage of working, as I finish, the advantage of me having practiced medicine for 9 years, it gave me connections to the suppliers, to the clients, to the hospitals. So you need a blood pressure machine. I don't have it with me. I'll just call my rider, go to that specific place, pick a machine, take it to the customer, do your other activities. The other business I run, I sell household items. I said I'm Brickford, so Brickford Enterprises, Brickford Household. The other one is Brickford Home Health Care. So the same thing. You want this beautiful dinner set? I don't have it. They are all over in my pages, but I don't have it. But I know where to get it. The same case, I'll use a rider, go collect these, take to these clients. So what I do, I have an office. You know, many people don't understand what I do. They expect me to have a very big shop with people working, but I just have a structure. I organize everything well seated. So as Joseph was saying, that was me killing the Babylonian system. Because I told God, the way I would, you could get to work at 7:30, and maybe, in a hospital, you can't leave clients lining up. So you have to wait for the other person to come in for the shift before you go. But if they come at 8, you'll still be there. And tomorrow morning, you're expected to get in at. So I just came up with a way of letting people be. Just do your thing. When I need you, I'll call you and we do business. So that's basically it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mercy. Yeah. Joseph, the prophet, warned me that at times meetings don't go as planned, and clearly this one has not. Yeah, but we appreciate. And they are great lessons from what Mercy has shared. Yeah, great lessons. And I think we can now come to the close of today's meeting. I'll start with some notices. So we have Business by the Book. This is it's a Bible study program. We just started. We said, let's just read through the book. That's the Bible. Slowly, okay? So essentially we do one chapter a day. Yeah. This week we are even doing 4 chapters only. All right? So we try to just understand, go a bit deeper. Okay? And then we study, we have a plan that we use, and then every Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., we meet online and we are able to have discussions. And as you can see, they are very practical discussions, which is what I love. They are very, very practical. I think there was a week where God spoke to us powerfully about the words that we speak, like not speaking out of turn. All right, very, very powerfully. And guess what? There was practical application waiting for me the following week. So this is a business by the book. Of course, those they're also available on our YouTube channel, but if you're able to tune in on our Zoom, that will be great. Then we have the next Believers Business Breakfast, will be in May. We are now skipping 1 month, all right? Yeah, but not really skipping. I think we know that we are taking time to strengthen the core. Yeah, so we have that as in-house meeting for the signed up members, all right? And that produces strength, okay? So, but now the Believers Business Breakfast is bi-monthly. So the next one is in May, and therefore the next one is after May? Wrong. Anyway, yeah, of course, of course, you guessed right, But in July, we want to have something we are calling Kingdom Enterprise Summit. And we are still actually discussing whether 1 day is enough, because imagine if, for example, you were to convince Joseph to be available. You don't know whether... Joseph needs a whole day by himself. Yeah? Then you guys have listened to Richard. He never finishes. And the thing is, we have Yvette here, for example. By the way, fun fact is that my wife knew Yvette in campus as the pastor's wife. Yeah, then I met Yvette at Sinapis, and also I think there's a lot of medicine here right now. Yeah, because also Yvette has worked with I think all the big pharma. Yeah. And anyway, we thank God for these resources among us. So in July, we want to have a Kingdom Enterprise Summit, but it's interesting because the thrust of it, like the thing we feel as the wait for it is hearing God in business. And we have some very, very practical instances where God has spoken, like where, this is the speaking of God and how that has directed and shaped businesses. So we would like to have a Kingdom Enterprise Summit. Of course, God will lead us whether to have that quarterly or annually, but particularly this one for July, the emphasis would be on being able to hear God, to hear the voice of God in business. We have our accounts. They are all with Kingdom Circle, all right? Yeah, we try to do what? To walk the talk, is it? Yeah, I'm also very happy when I come here. Do you know the meaning of CHAK? It's Christian Health Association of Kenya. Yeah, so so I'm happy when my money is spent here, even if they are not members of Melnet. So, and Kingdom Circle, we let me say we are tracking a partnership with them.
Nice.
To see how much more we can be able to do together. And now that they start together, I hope they'll also track a partnership. I'm happy to be the facilitator for that. And so anyway, I want to use this to just talk about a few things. One, registration. For those of us who are not members, who'd like to be a member, you simply go online on our website, melnetafrica.org, and you'll be able to see an application form. Then you pay 10,000 shillings to this account, 521,000 member. So when Saitoti was talking about short codes, these are the short codes. Don't you think it's a good thing they've done? Very innovative. Yeah? You do 521,000 member, you pay for your membership of 10,000. Then every business you get, you give 5 to 10% to the network.
Nice.
Essentially, it should be a tenth of your increase.
Yeah.
Okay. It should be a tenth of your increase. So 5 to 10% is because some businesses have what you call a high cost of sales. Yeah, but also where we will get here. there's a times I get in that mood, especially in member meetings, of declaring. But we'll get there where you don't even have to. Okay, of course, we have an app which Mark has developed for us. And Mark, Saitoti has been waiting for the app. Which, by the way, Mark, you can now share on the WhatsApp group for guys to review. At times, leaders are the bottlenecks. I'm sorry. He shared with me, and it just stopped at my desk. But you can just share on the WhatsApp group. So the app is just configured for 5%, all right? But I know we'll get to a place where your giving is not dependent on that percentage, but on your discernment of the value you've gotten from the network. Why I'm saying that is because at times you come, a very good, perfect example. Mark, where did you meet Edwin? So that now the two of you are partners in SwiftServe.
The first day was breakfast.
You see? Yeah, these guys actually met here. So this is a partnership born here. So if we were to go, let me say, if we were to go Levitical, Levitical is what? Levitical is where you're like, God may have given you your percentage. If you are to go Levitical, then what you would do is say, the day SwiftServe makes money, we will give whatever percentage you have stipulated as a rule. Okay? But you realize there is value that is beyond the balance sheet, so to speak. All right. So that's exchange. Again, Favor is one of the very faithful ones, by the way, in remitting her dues, because she sells tote bags. Where are the bags today, by the way?
The display online.
That's a smart answer.
They're available for customization and order. So currently we don't have the ready-made ones, but you can place orders. They'll customize in accordance to size and color.
Wonderful. This is beautiful, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, so exchange. Favor Kigada has also stepped out. I think even he's been able to get business here. And Remit is I don't know what we will give that. It's what? Token? Give me a name. Commission doesn't feel very good. Anyway, then fellowship is for fellowship. That is a meeting. So for example, if you paid for today's meeting, it would be 521,000 fellow, right? And finally, MailNet, that is for general purpose. So I decide I will bless this work. Our core values are fear of God, integrity, synergy, honor, excellence, relevance, and succession. I will not discuss them today. We had Richard discussing them, and he said he could do a conference on each. And we did not doubt. So at this point, I'd like us to stand for our anthem. I'm still negotiating with the resident musician in the house to do a studio version. But for now, this is what we have. So anyway, as we sing, let's think about it. It's not just a song; it's a declaration. Yeah, that we walk in the fear of the Lord, right? With integrity, shining bright. Okay. In synergy, we build together. All right. Giving honor to all that are due. Okay. With excellence, we serve our season, bringing answers the Spirit has shown, and we raise up the next generation for God's kingdom to be known. Allow me 1 minute, now that we are talking about giving honor to all that are due, to allow Yvette to say something. Sorry about that. Should have done that before.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
It's really good to be here. Thank you very much. It's good to be here. I represent an organization called Synapis. Jeremy is a great brand ambassador, and what we do is we have entrepreneurs in our heart and kingdom entrepreneurs. So we equip you as entrepreneurs to take your business to the next level, and we give you the tools that you need. And I really like what you said, Joseph, about your purpose. what I like is that we work in an ecosystem. We don't work in isolation. And as I sit here, I see great opportunities for collaboration in this ecosystem because we believe that business is not just about making money, but it's about fulfilling your God-given gift to transform communities for change. And so that's what we do in a nutshell. And we will engage with you a little more. The tools that we give are tried and tested. And one of the things that really just warmed my heart is watching how people are transformed. So, like in your case, Mercy, with many businesses, which is great because to whom much is given, much is expected. But with the many businesses, if you can use the tool in one, you can actually replicate it in the others and you build systems. In not so many words, we help entrepreneurs work on their business as opposed to working in their business. Most entrepreneurs are doing everything. They are the receptionists, they're the security, they are the marketing, they are everything. And when they come here, their business is right here with them. Nothing is happening there. So then that's really what it's all about. But today, I just came to take it all in. And I have enjoyed what I've taken in. I've been deeply blessed. And my prayer is that may the Lord continue to bless the work of your hands.
Amen.
May you grow. May your impact transform this nation
Amen.
for the glory of God.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. We are grateful to have had you, Yvette. And I met Sinapis at a point in my life when I was wondering the powerful things we had declared about kingdom business. I think Richard and Joseph would know. It was feeling like, even Saitoti, like they had not come to be true. And I was like, wow, come and see a man. Yeah, for whom the things we declared are true. So I really, for that reason, I'm, as Yvette said, I'm a great brand ambassador for Sinapis. Okay, so let's declare these words. We just sing along, okay?
We walk in the fear of the Lord, with integrity shining bright. In synergy we build together, giving honor to all that I do. With excellence we serve our season, bringing answers the Spirit has shown. And we raise up the next generation, for God's kingdom to be known. We walk in the fear of the Lord, with integrity shining bright. In synergy we build together, giving honor to all that I do. With excellence we serve our season, bringing answers the Spirit has shown. And we raise up the next generation, for God's kingdom to be known. We walk in the fear of the Lord, with integrity shining bright. In synergy we build together, giving honor to all that I do. With excellence we serve our season, bringing answers the Spirit has shown. And we raise up the next generation, for God's kingdom to be known.
Amen. So this is the patron's blessing in absentia. That will be MC Donga, who is on paternity leave. May your business be a blessing to customers, a beacon of kingdom impact, and a lasting family legacy. And this is my blessing to you. May God himself, the God of peace, sanctify you through and through. May your whole spirit, soul, and body be kept blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. And for those of us with us here for the first time, we learned later that these three aspects are captured. Spirit, righteousness, soul, relationships, body, That is physical provision through referrals. And finally, find your partner. We talked about the partner at the start. Make sure you have one neighbor. All right, hold their hand.
And now, I commend you to God and to the word of His grace, which is able to build you up and give you an inheritance among